What's happening, Andy here? I am joined by Robert and Victor from MyQ. How you guys doing today?
We are doing great, Andy. It's great to see you again.
Great to see you guys. The last time I saw you, I think we were in Boston, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Um, you guys were out having a good time. You did the boat cruise. You were at BTA talking to dealers. You've been here for a half a year now, right? One of the things that I think you recognized that you needed to be successful over here was if you want to be competitive, you've got to really cater to these dealers and help them in ways that maybe are a little different than you do in Europe. So maybe we discuss a little bit about the partner program, where it was when you got here, and now maybe where you've brought it to. Victor, you want to elaborate on that a little?
yeah, I can. And Andy, please feel free to stop me anytime. You know, I like talk, so it may take like 30 minutes before I stop.
You have all
But
the time you want. I'm not going to interrupt you again.
but first of all, I have to go back a little because first of all, when the three of us started cooperating, I don't mean you and MyQ because that cooperation is long term basically, but I mean you and the two of us, which started approximately 7 or 8 months ago. We had a lot of podcasts together, and I was always telling you about those huge plans that we have and what we are going to achieve. And now I'm very glad that this is kind of the first or second podcast where we can actually come and say, oh, yeah, we achieved this and that. So it's not only, plain talks, but it's actually happening right now. And it's in our opinion, it's happening faster than we expected. So I'm very glad for this opportunity to be able to speak about it openly. And second thing, as you indicated already, we launched a lot of partner programs. And before I jump into the topic of those programs, explaining them in detail, I want to go back a little and talk about why we did it, what stands behind this initiative, because Robert and I don't think many people know that, but Robert and I packed our bags 6 months ago and we relocated to the United States. Why? Because we've got experience from the European market, but we didn't want that experience to influence our decisions when we are managing our subsidiary in the US, because that market is different, completely different. It's a different world.
Yep.
So we actually decided to relocate and spent 6 months in the US. And it was like a boot camp. It was crazy. It was a ride. We were living under one roof together, so you can imagine how that was. He's getting on my nerves still. I cannot stand him, but it was a ride. We enjoyed it tremendously, and the first reason why we relocated to the United States was actually to find out what dealers in the US or in the Americas actually want, what they struggle with. That was the first reason. Second reason was to be as close as possible to our employees that we have there in our subsidiary. And third reason was to meet new people and penetrate the market a bit more than we already did when we started 8 years ago there. So we were living under one roof together, trying to survive thanks to Uber Eats. We didn't get out of the house maybe like 2 or 3 times where we are attending some conferences. It was crazy. But what I wanted to say is the friendliness of the dealers community in the US, which surprised me so much. That's a different world because here in Europe, I don't know if I can say in Europe, but definitely in Czech Republic, there's this animosity towards your enemy, towards your competitor. So it's a huge fight. But in the US, there are those communities of even competitors, and you work together, you cooperate, you collaborate, you talk about ideas, and the friendliness of all the people that we've met, it was just tremendous, and we immediately realized that that's where we belong. That's where we belong. We found so many new people, and they were amazing, absolutely amazing. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to go into the topic of the partner program. So we spent 6 months in the US analyzing the market, trying to understand where we can help our partners, where we can help the dealers, because that's our mindset. I'm talking about it every single podcast we have together. I'm not thinking about how we can be successful, how MyQ can be successful, how we can make money. That's not my mindset. Our mindset is how we can help dealers to become more profitable, how we can help dealers to be successful, because if they are successful, then we are successful as well, naturally. That's the business we are in. So that's what we were doing the last 6 months. We identified a lot of problems they are facing, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So first thing they need help with is diversification and market differentiation, especially nowadays after all that happened since 2020. We all know what happened, so I'm not going to talk about that. But diversification and market differentiation, those are two huge topics today. And we can help dealers basically with our product, which is extremely different from the others in the market. I'm going to just mention two things. One of them is best of platform, and the second one is personalization. The best of platform is our development philosophy, so how we actually develop our products. It means that we do not develop 5 features across all hardware brands. We develop 10 features there, 5 features here, 50 features there. It depends on what the platform actually allows us to develop. So if Canon allows us to develop 100 features, we do that. If Ricoh allows us to develop 76 features, we do that. So that's what makes us different, and then what actually makes the dealers different when they make their offerings to their customers. Personalization, that's something we talked about many, many times. You can basically, with MyQ and its setup, you can go as far as you want. You can set a certain set of features for the entire company, then a different set of features for single departments, then for different groups of people or even individuals. So that's what makes us different as well. So we can help them with that. They can diversify by onboarding our products, and they can be different by offering our products to their customers. However, when dealers are onboarding new products, there are a couple issues. It's first, it's time consuming. It's definitely hard to onboard new products. It's costly. So we had to help them in some way. So that's the reason why we launched our first partner program, which is called Partner Development Program. And this program comes with huge price reductions, very aggressive. Why? We don't want to buy the market. That's not our intention. We don't want dealers to be patient. We don't want them to wait to become profitable with our products. We want them to be profitable with our products immediately. So we decided that we will be patient by providing these price reductions towards all the new dealers in our portfolio. So we are basically helping them not only from the product perspective, but also financial-wise. So that's the first one for all new dealers in our portfolio. Then what dealers struggle with as well is taking that product and going to the market, approaching their customers, telling them, listen, we've got new product, do you want to buy it? Most of them will tell them, I have this product, I don't need the new one. Why? And it's very hard for dealers to convince their customers to try that product out. So we launched second program, which is called Best by Test program. And high-level explanation, we provide as many licenses as dealers want for a certain period of time, free of any charge, so that they can approach their customers, install our product in their premises, on their devices, and they can start using that for free for 3 months, 4 months. It depends on the customer and their contract they have. And once they try it, our experience is that they would like to stay with that product because they love the experience.
Yeah.
So that's the second program we offer to our dealers. They are very happy with that program. And the third one, the last one we launched 3 weeks ago, is sales incentive program. Why? Because when dealers onboard new product in their portfolio, they also have to make sure that their employees are on board with that decision. We all know how sales reps are, right? They don't sell it if they don't see some incentive in that. So we understood that it's very hard for managers, directors, or owners to convince their sales rep to start selling the new product. So we launched a sales incentive program as well, where we are basically incentivizing the dealer's sales reps based on how much they actually sell. So we've got those three programs that basically ensured our success throughout those last 6 months. And as I said, we are extremely fascinated that it actually worked, and dealers are extremely happy, and we are moving in such a rapid phase because we didn't expect that. And the last thing I want to say, because I'm talking for so long, I'm sorry, guys, but the last thing I want to say that is that all the time, or every single time, Robert and I are attending those podcasts. Robert and I are those two guys that are visible. Robert and I are the guys that appear in every single magazine or some website or podcast or whatever. So people may think that it's our doing, it's our success, the two of us, and that's not true. We hired so many professionals to MyQ America. We've got amazing employees in MyQ America that are working with that company for the last 5 to 6 years. We've got so many amazing partners in the US and in Latin America as well. So I just want to make sure that people don't think it's only my success or Robert's success. There's a huge effort behind all of that that was spent, by our employees, by our colleagues, by our partners. So it's a team effort. It's not only me and Robert. So I just wanted to make that clear, and thank to every single one who was involved in this process throughout the last 6 months, because we appreciate it tremendously.
Well, it's certainly you got here with a fledgling program. It had for the for what it was. I thought you did pretty well with it, but you certainly have, as we say over here, put the pedal to the metal and noticeably improved your footprint here. Obviously, having an actual program like you've built over the last several months, that's going to get the attention of these dealers. They want terms and conditions, and they want to be able to look at the benefits and what they're getting from you, right? The free trial is really interesting to me. And just a quick question: is that a full version? Is it the full version that they get to try out? See, that's very very useful, because we've all had that experience where you get the grayed out version and you can see all the stuff that you'd want to, but you really don't get a taste for how it works. And does it, I can't tell you how many times I've actually bought something and then been very annoyed that I bought it because it didn't work the way. So the fact that you're not hiding anything, and there's anybody, as long as their supporting dealer is walking them through it, can try this out, use it in their own system, tweak it, have somebody set it up properly also. And then, I think we all know why you did it. Once it's installed and it's working well, it's people don't want to tear it out. And I can see why. I've bought a lot of things like that. Once I'm really using it and I like it, well, then I'll go back and spend the money. The incentive program, just a couple follow-ups on that. So what does that look like? What are you giving the reps for selling you? Is it a credit card? Is it a trip? Is it a
nope. It can be delivered in multiple different ways. It can be cash. It can be in a different way as well. It depends on what the sales rep actually wants, what he prefers, what he or she prefers. And that's what I forgot to mention. It comes from our own pocket. It doesn't come from the dealer's margin, nothing like that. We want the dealer to make as much money as they can. And there's some maneuvering space in our margin that we can play with. So we decided to give some amount of that margin that we have to the sales rep. So that's how it basically works. Every sales rep has a certain number of licenses that he or she has to sell in a month. And based on what he or she achieves, we send them the incentive.
Very cool. So they have a bunch of choices. Do you have reps that are actually qualifying for this yet? Is it too new?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We launched it 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So couple sales reps already registered, and uh, they also registered some of the sales they made this month. So we are calculating that, and in the end of the month, in the end of every single month, we calculate the amount of incentive that we have to provide to that particular person. So what date that is it today? September 28th. So in a week, we will be sending the first incentives to those sales reps.
Oh, well, that is awesome news. I'm sure they'll be very excited to get it. Uh, are you going to be showcasing at this BTA, or do you have to sit that one out because you guys are home? Is anyone else able to come up and do the booth, Robbie or anyone else?
Yeah, you said it. Robbie will be there.
All
He's the
right.
only man from MyQ who's gonna attend the BTA event in. Is it in Asheville?
It is in
Asheville, right?
Asheville. It
Yeah,
is in
yeah.
Asheville. I'll be there the second day. We've got a Rico conference in the Colorado area the day before. So myself and a couple of dealers will be coming in at the last second for the BTA conference. I'll be speaking at that conference. So I'll be sure to look Robbie up and make sure we get some pictures of him working hard over there at the MyQ booth. But guys, this is just as always a great pleasure. It's great to catch up and really just to sit down and discuss the work that you guys have been doing. Just your whole crew is it's impressive. I've seen people come over to the market many times. I've helped a lot of them. But you guys really hit the ground running, and you built on a good strong start. You had some good dealers here already. Down in Carolina, John Ekstrom, one of your dealers, Carolina Business. Well, now it's Novatech, right? Um,
Yeah.
we went out there last year to your 30th anniversary, saw the future, and just the difference in uh, what a different company you are over there in Europe versus what you are at the moment here in the US. And it's exciting to watch the growth. So, congratulations on a great first year for the two of you being over here. It's you made a difference. A lot of people know who you are now, and it's because you guys have made the effort. You have I can attest to seeing you guys coming in very late at night, after working very hard meeting dealers. And it sounds funny, but it's hard, man. That catches up with you. It's hard to do a lot of business at the bar, and that's where the dealers are. And you have to put in those hours. It can be exhausting. So it sounds like
Yeah.
you guys did a very good job. I know Prague is the number one beer country in the world from what they were telling me at the Oktoberfest event. And,
Uh-huh.
and so, it's great catching up with you guys. Bravo and hats off to the achievements you guys had in the last year. And I hope you get that visa figured out sooner than later.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much, Andy. We appreciate it greatly. And second of all, yeah, we are already working on the visa situation, and I think we are gonna get it in a couple of weeks because we have visa, but a different type. So now we are applying for intercorporate transfer that allows us to stay a bit longer because that's what we want to do. We want to be in the U.S., talking to our partners and spending some time with our colleagues and people like you because that's what we like to do. So I think we're going to get it pretty soon, and you will see us in the US in a couple of months.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to catching up with you and having a beer when you get here. And we will talk soon. Thanks so much for being on today.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Great seeing you, Victor.
Pleasure.
Great seeing you, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.